Hi, everybody. My name is John DePietro.
And I'm Bob Zagami with the Camper Report Show.
And Bob, on this Camper Report show, there is a brand new promotional campaign for Go RVing coming out. And we are going to talk to the people that are responsible for it because it's the start of the camping season.
It's a great campaign. Also, it's a fun time. I'm going to talk to Janine Pettit. We haven't talked to her for a while, the founder of Girl Camper, and they got a couple of interesting things coming up, one of which involves hurricane relief in North Carolina.
Exactly. So those stories plus all the news of the week that where do we get our news?
RV Business with Rick Kessler and Woodall's Campground Magazine with Ben Quiggle.
We'll be back with that plus so much more right here on
The Camper Report Show.
Calling all RV enthusiasts. Protect your investment with RV Roof Magic, the ultimate RV coatings for defense against roof damage and leaks. Our cutting-edge liquid butyl coating forms a seamless barrier, safeguarding your RV from moisture, UV rays, and environmental wear. It's easy to apply and incredibly durable. RV Roof Magic offers peace of mind on every journey. Don't let roof issues dampen your adventures. Trust RV Roof Magic to keep you dry and worry-free wherever the road takes you. RV Roof Magic is the only liquid butyl rubber in the world that only needs one coat and never needs a primer. And it comes with a 10-year warranty too. Visit rvroofmagic.com/RVLife and extend your roof another 18 to 20 years. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Camp Report Show. This is a news segment. My name is John DePietro. I'm joined, as always, by Bob Zagami. And Bob, kind of a sad show because, well, a happy and a sad show. Sad because we're going to take the summer off, but happy because we're going to go out and get a whole bunch of new content. So when the fall comes, we're going to have lots of new stuff for you.
We're gonna rest up and rejuvenate everything. Not that we need it, but we like it, and it's time to take a little bit of time off for the summer this year.
Exactly. So we have some news that's very interesting. Our friends at the RVDA, Phil and Gracia, RV Dealers Association, which is the national association of all the dealers, not the manufacturers, but the dealers, had some very interesting news about the buyers who bought during COVID, because I think everyone will agree that COVID was an unnatural bump in the economy. And I know you and I were flying home that day on March 12th, 2020, and
Yep.
from California, from the Winnebago dealer meetings, and the world was shutting down behind us. NASCAR closed down, the NBA closed down, Coachella closed down. And we all thought, uh-oh, what's going to happen now? But the RV industry experienced its biggest growth bubble ever. And now there's some statistics out that show that those people who
Two,
came during that time, they're still here.
2 years of incredible growth where we got up to around a half a million units, new units a year. People just buying them because they wanted to get away, they wanted to stay with their family, they didn't want to be on an airplane, didn't want to be on a cruise ship. They were going to go RVing, and there were a lot of people who said, "Well, they'll never last. They'll all go back to cruising in airplanes." And as it turns out, they didn't.
Yep. And the interesting statistics were that everybody was saying these will be one-year wonders, like you just said, and that there'd be a giant glut of used RVs for sale. But it never materialized that way. And the latest stat that I saw is that, the average person trades their RV every 2 to 3 years, which is very
Yep.
interesting. Um, so now the people who bought during that bubble at the tail end of the bubble are due to buy again, and 68% of them have said that they will buy again. And even more interesting than that is brand loyalty, in that they would buy the same brand, which
Yeah.
was surprising to me that.
Well, I think once they get out there, they found out the benefits of vacationing with the family,
Yep.
kids getting off the devices. There's a whole trend now with the kids wanting to learn about outside adventures, turning over the rocks and catching the snakes and the frogs, and you know, kayaking and rock climbing and do all the things that we used to do as kids. And, you know, they finally figured it out. So there's a trend there, and it's going to be an important one. And they found out, and it's typical. You know, people we know from history, once people get into the RV lifestyle, unless something drastic happens, they stay in it for many decades.
Yeah. You said getting the snakes and the frogs. The only rule is don't bring them into the RV.
Right. Don't
Well,
hang them up in front of your mother and wiggle them back and forth. It doesn't work.
keep them out by the
They
camp.
don't they don't appreciate that. Right.
Out by the campfire. And speaking of the campfire, just like the one that's right behind me right here, is that our friends at Hip Camp are expanding, and they are going to be including private camps, public camps, state camps, and virtually every different type of accommodation. And
Even big resorts.
yep,
They covered it all. It
yep,
was an interesting press release.
yep. And they've got virtually everything that basically it's one-stop shopping. So you don't have to necessarily go to just the KOA site or the Blue Water site or the Sun Outdoor site. You can go to that one location and find all of them online.
Well, and for those that don't know about Hip Camp started out with people camping in other people's backyards and remote locations, just a driveway somewhere in the middle of the woods or a piece of property that somebody gave them an address. And to have a 500,000 facilities where you can camp, everything from somebody's driveway to a luxury resort,
Yep.
it makes it pretty well very usable application for people, for RVers.
And that is certainly a coming full circle from
Right,
being on the fringe of the industry to the largest one within the industry.
right.
And speaking of those kind of companies, I don't know if you want to call them aggregators or whatever, but Spot Tonight is another company that we've done a lot of work with Terry Broussard and his staff, and they just put together a list of most popular campgrounds around the country. And we just happened to, you know what, it'd be impossible to go through the whole country, but I picked out the ones at least in New England or the Northeast is concerned. But, it's not just that they service people from New England, but New England people, especially up in Maine and Vermont, New Hampshire, people come from all over the country to visit these parks. And I saw that some of them include the Mount Greylock camping area in Lanesville, Massachusetts, which was one of them.
That's
Uh,
out the western part of the state.
Western part of the state. Then there was Point Sebago in Maine, which is Casco, Maine, up
And,
there.
and that borders on a luxury resort.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's a very popular camping destination in Maine.
Yep. There's a Spacious Skies Balsam Woods in Abbott, Maine, where we've stayed,
Yep.
which is a really cool place. They've done a lot of improvements too. Danforth Bay in New Hampshire, but really like right on the New Hampshire Maine border, and HTR Acadia in Bar Harbor, which I had never heard of before.
No, I don't know.
It might have been something else beforehand, but
Well,
HT.
here again, when you look at that list, there's going to be a lot of places that we haven't heard of before because there may be a couple of driveways up there or a couple of properties. Some people uh, set up their own hookups and rent out basically a full service site, but it's on somebody's backyard. It's not in a campground. You're not going to get the features of a campground. But again, they started out with the people who like to boondock. So they started from scratch and people who didn't necessarily go to campgrounds. But as we've seen with the Outlander movement, with those types of RVs coming into the fold of traditional RVs, so also are the camping options that RVs have now. So again, a 500,000 is a if you can't find something to camp in a 500,000 locations,
You can't.
something in your
Yep,
backyard or across the country, then you're you got to reevaluate your camping options.
exactly. The other thing with Spot Tonight is that was one of those, again, another company that's come full circle because their whole thing was last minute camping.
Exactly.
Camping
Yeah.
tonight. So it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You don't have a reservation. Go to Spot Tonight and you punch in your geography, and it would send you some um, locations that were right nearby. So
Well, it's amazing software because you can search for that location and it may not be available, but you can put a little reminder in there. And as soon as if a site becomes available in 10 minutes or 10 hours, you will get an alert that the
Yep.
campground that you wanted has an opening right now. And I think if you press one more button, they make the reservation for you.
simple as that.
Great software. Yeah.
Oh, that's the story. And we're going to be trying those properties this summer as we travel, and we look forward to coming back in the fall with some more great content for you. And we want to thank our friends at RV Business in Woodalls for providing these news stories to us. And Bob, what was the name of the show again?
The Camper Report Show.
Stay with us, everybody. Hey everybody, we are in Elkhart, Indiana at the RV Industry Power Breakfast. It's just about wrapping up, but we are with RVIA royalty.
Something like that.
Something like that. Karen
I
and
mean,
Monica.
our Hall of Famer, yeah.
Right, exactly. But you got a brand new campaign out. I mean, here's the thing that I can't believe, I can't get a grasp on. 30 years of Go RVing.
It is. Isn't that amazing? I mean, the industry still supports this program, and it's got one of the best industry, unity to it, and we're just continuing to grow and expand the RV market. It's been,
Monica and I,
our mission.
we were both in what, 5th grade when it got started?
Exactly, same thing, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, now Karen will just leave.
I mean, but she was like a middle school intern.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's got a whole new theme now. You say it so I won't get it wrong.
Just beyond your door.
Just beyond your door. And Monica, give us the gist on that, because it's kind of a subset to a theme of Go RVing, has its theme just beyond the door.
Yeah, this is our new
Right.
campaign, and the idea, so if you're at a hotel, you open the door and you're seeing the same hotel door across from you. If you're on a cruise ship, same thing, like the door across from you. But with an RV, wherever you go and you open the door, there's unlimited potential just beyond your door outside. And then what's really cool about this campaign is we see the inside of the RV extensively for the first time. So because just beyond your door to the inside is where those core memories and family moments and connections are made. And so it's just such a great campaign. And what I really love about this is everyone can see themselves in this ad.
Interesting.
All of our
And
demographics.
you had new technology that developed this ad,
We've
right?
used technology to create an ad that's really being only at this point used in the movie industry. So the technology of the volume stage, we used massive LED screens that had live backgrounds, and then we built the foreground with the RVs and the people. And this has only been, it was created for the Mandalorian series, and then we've used that, and it's starting to branch out into other areas, but there aren't a lot of advertisers that have used this technology to create these immersive and kind of magical worlds that we created.
And when will we start seeing these in public?
Yesterday.
Live.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's live.
Okay. Multimedia. I mean, how many different?
Across everything, digital, streaming, it's going to be Netflix, Disney Plus, all of the streaming. It's going to be online, display, social, everywhere.
You'll see it everywhere.
So instead of just the outdoor, I mean, obviously the outdoors is the gist of the whole thing. I mean, we just RV'd to America's 250th birthday in Lexington, Massachusetts,
Oh.
Right.
with the Battle of Concord and Lexington.
Yeah.
Until you see the whites of their
With the
eyes.
redcoats, exactly right.
I'm a
I've been to that
Massachusetts
reenactment.
girl,
Right.
remember?
Well, and the interesting part about it is, if you went there that weekend, and it was the exact April 19th, 250 years ago.
Wow.
Paul Revere showed up to town at 10 o'clock at night, but then the redcoats.
The 18th of April in 75, hardly a man is still alive. I remember.
And if
learning
they
that
are,
in
they don't have a good
elementary
memory of
school.
it. Okay, but the redcoats, they arrived at 5:30 in the morning. So I said to my wife, and I think we had a grandchild or two with us that particular day, we've got an RV there because I don't want to try to drive into a city at 9 at night with Boston traffic and get there again at 5:30 in the morning. So we RV'd, and we found several other RVs in various
That's great.
parking lots. So
You can take the RVs anywhere. I took my children to see the Statue of Liberty in an RV.
Yep. Park
my
over
son
at
wanted to see.
park over in New Jersey.
That's exactly right.
At the thing, but the whole RVing season now starts because you've got obviously your campaign starts at the same time.
It is.
And we want to thank you so much for spending time here at the Power Breakfast. What did you think of this? I mean, 400 and what? Not 400. 1,300 people.
It started 300 people 13 years ago.
There's no other industry event that brings together virtually every different aspect of outdoor life.
Because we're in the backyard of most of the manufacturers, you've got people that work in all various aspects of the industry that are able to come here and join together.
And despite what the economists say about the economy, to still have a largest crowd, one of the largest crowds ever, is testament to the fact that this industry does not accept downswings.
Right.
Cool. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back everybody to the Camper Report Show, and the familiar face on the other side of the screen. I'm not sure if she's on the left or right on the way you're looking at it, but Janine Pettit, the Camper-in-Chief for Girl Camper Organization. Janine, I haven't seen you for a while. Great to see you.
You too, Bob, and thank you always for championing Girl Camper and allowing me to be on the show and share all the news that we got going on. It's great.
I'm tugged in both angles. I got the Girl Camper over here, and I got RVWA over here, and I have to help the women out.
It's anonymous. I just came back from the RVWA camp out in Elkhart.
Yeah, I understand it was really good.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Raindrops, but we dodged them. And I'll tell you, I came home with a lot of great ideas, met some wonderful people. And I don't usually go to that because it's always the weekend before or the weekend after our annual Camperee for Girl Camper. Normally takes place the last week in April.
Yeah.
And RVWA is always the first week in May. And it's a hard turnaround for me. So this year our camper it is in, let me see, Colorado. And we changed it to the first week in June because we did not want snow.
But with the weather, they're projecting a nor'easter up here in New England for Memorial Day weekend, the couple of days before and what have you. And we certainly, we're doing our show tonight about that because we don't want the campers canceling all the cancellations, in the campgrounds. Just bring your umbrella and bring your raincoat. And camping is camping, whether it's sunshine or rain.
Many years ago, I did a podcast about making the commitment to camp in whatever weather it is, because there were so many times I would look at the forecast and think, oh God, I don't want to do that. That looks like a crappy weekend. And then I didn't go. And then everybody says, oh, it rained for about 20 minutes Saturday morning. Then it cleared out. And then by night, and I'm like, no, we're going to go no matter what. And we were just talking about this. I was camping in Ohio last weekend. We went there and we thought we were to skirt the edge of this storm, but it came down. We barely got set up on a Friday night. It started raining while we were in our beds in our campers overnight on Friday. 5 inches of rain on Saturday. And one of our girls had a fifth wheel and we piled in there and we watched Hallmark movies and I learned to knit gloves and we ordered pizza and it was one of the most fun weekends. And
how many women did you have in the trailer?
Oh, great. Yeah. She had the camp host. Our friend was the camp host and she had a fifth there and we piled high and we never had pizza delivered at a campground, and we still laugh about it. It was a great weekend.
So how many women did she squeeze into the trailer, though?
Well, everybody had their own trailers there to sleep in, but during the day with the 5 inches of rain, we had 7 or 8 of us piled in there.
And you called out for pizza for dinner.
We did. We thought for people. But we kept calling around till some nut did, and we were so grateful.
But that's great. Well, I wanted to get you back on because we're almost halfway through 2025, and I don't know what you're up to or some of your programs, and I know you have some great ones. Tell us what's hot on the griddle right now.
Well, our big thing that and I'm glad you reached out to me because you were on my list, and I'm going to reach out to all my podcasting friends. We knew when that hurricane hit in North Carolina last fall, there was nothing we could do. We knew we wanted to. When you see that, you go, "Oh my God, I'm going to get in my truck. I'm going to get down there." But you can't. You're in the way. There was the roads were out. There was no, you needed to let the people do their job getting roads open and cleared and things like that. But
Right.
we're going to put together a trip. So our friends at Spacious Skies Campground in Spruce Pine, North Carolina, they got hit pretty hard. They had hundreds of trees down and, of course, no power and flooding and debris everywhere. But Spacious Skies has 15 locations all over the Northeast.
Right.
Their own people came from all over, and they got at it, and they brought teams, and they had a little roof shingles off, but their buildings were pretty much intact, although the pictures are kind of horrifying. But anyway, so over the course of the winter, they were able to get up and running. But this little town of Spruce Pine, North Carolina, kind of a little spit on the land there. And, I don't know, maybe the squeaky wheel gets the grease or the bigger towns get it. So it's a river town right on the riverfront, Main Street right on the river. Really severe damage. The storefronts were filled up halfway, 5-6 feet in the storefronts on Main Street. Most of the Main Street stores are up and running now. And frankly, they need people to come down and spend some money and go camping there. I mean, the roads are all passable. Water is good. Everybody has power. But there's stuff to be done. So our guide, Sherry Sullivan, who is our Alabama guide, has been working with the Convention and Visitors Bureau and the Chamber of Commerce in the little town of Spruce Pine. So we're going down there August 8th through 11th. We have 35 spots reserved at Bear Den Campground in Spacious Skies, Spruce Pine, North Carolina, which for those that don't know, it's a little northeast of Asheville. So we're going to go there, and they have a whole punch list of what they'd like to get done over the summer, right? So we don't know what we're going to be doing because they're working down that list. I think a lot of what we're going to be doing is cleaning up brush and cutting things. And the city park, apparently it was washed out, and they're looking for people to help put that back together. So we would love some volunteers to join the Girl Campers August 8th through 11th.
All right, we'll make sure we spread the word, and I'll mention it tonight on RVing in New England also, because you've got a girl camper chapter out there, but we know all the girl camper staff and people that we may be able to get some people from New England. We do a lot of work with Allie Rasmussen at Spacious Skies. She's great to work with, and she loves John. He loves John because he runs around and does videos at all of their campgrounds. August 11th, I won't make any promises.
Yeah.
August 8th to 11th, John might want to take a trip down in his motorhome and help out.
Some of us are coming early. I'm actually going to visit my nephew in Asheville, who got hit real hard. So I'm going down like the 5th. I will be over to Spruce Pine by the 8th, and then I don't have to be anywhere till the 15th when I'm going cave kayaking in Kentucky, which is only an hour ride. So
kayaking in a cave?
Yes, lighted caves in Kentucky. It's been on my bucket list, and I'm doing it this year. So I'm going cave kayaking in Kentucky on the 15th. So I'm going to stay extra days.
Okay.
So, just because it says 8 to 11,
right.
We'll no matter when,
Right. They'll take anybody that can help out. But like I say, if you can get a couple of tourists up there to spend some money, have most of the stores been able to open up?
Most of them are, and we decided, no, normally the girl campers are like cooking meals, and no, we're not doing any of that. We're going into town to eat at the restaurants every night.
Okay, with your girl camper sweatshirts and
yep, we'll
make sure you're there in force, huh?
And you do, though, have to sign up at girlcamper.com because
Okay.
our insurance company won't let anyone participate in a Girl Camper event unless it's a $10 fee, one time only. It gets you in Girl Camper for the rest of your life. And it's just so our insurance company knows that this person we say is them is really them, because they got to turn over a card and a driver's license. So, okay, we did our diligence. We're the new Uber.
So what else do your chapters, anything, you mentioned the Colorado trip.
Yes. So we do have a couple openings in that Colorado trip. Granby, Colorado. That's around the corner in 2 weeks, June 2nd through 6th, I think it is. And it's at a Sun RV Resorts out this is going to be so luxurious. They've got fantastic pools and hot tubs and restaurants and bowling and yoga instructors. This is kind of posh.
Yeah.
And yeah, once a year we do our Girl Camper Camporee, where
Right.
we get to camp like girls. We get to pretend we're at camp and go to the mess hall and the craft tent and so that is coming up. We've got about 100 girl campers from across the country, and 10 of our staff are going to be there. So that's really cool.
That's amazing.
And
So
I'm not going to say where yet, but I'll just put this bee in the bonnet for anyone who might be listening. We rotate around the country.
right.
Next year, we're going to be in Texas, and it's going to be near water. And that's all I'm going to say.
Texas near water. I don't know.
Maybe a certain country singer song comes to mind. Glenn Campbell. That's all I'm saying.
That's Abilene.
Galveston.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh, Galveston's on the water.
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
I won't tell anybody, Janine. Nobody watches the program, so don't worry. Nobody will find out.
Yeah. So we got that coming up. But then in 10 days, because I'm watching this deadline, the very first interactive digital version of Girl Camper magazine is coming out. And I know a lot of people were really heartbroken that we couldn't print it anymore. I mean, everyone knows the cost of everything is going through.
Yep.
We have never raised the price of the magazine in 5 years. But guess what? The printer raised his price and the shipping raised their price, and the creators, the digital and all the back support, everybody raised their price except for us. So we just had to make the decision. We want to keep the magazine going, but it turned out to be disappointing at first for a lot of our subscribers. But guess what? You're going to see Janine in there doing all the cooking segments.
Yeah. I tell you, people, and I don't care what the topic is, but any magazine that has faced that challenge,
yeah,
that has gone digital. If your fans are really fans, they're going to go right along with you. I like it better. I like it better just to be able to call it up and read it that way.
Advertisers now, when you flip the page, their ad begins playing. So you're going to get a drone shot of that fabulous campground, and you're going to be sucked into that ad right away.
Well, and you can link back to their site. You can link back, if you got a 50% off sale on a product, click that, go right to their site, do the ordering. That's what I say. There are so many benefits to it that if people just don't look at it as a magazine, if they look at it as the resource that it's always been, they'll be happy.
Yeah. And the letter from the editor will now be video.
That's good. Who did you select to work with?
We use a company called Simple Book. We've always had it in digital.
Yeah.
In fact, if you were a paper subscriber, you always had the digital copy. And when you subscribe, you get every single back issue. So all of those digital issues all still exist. And this is issue number 21.
Really?
So if you subscribe now.
So it's the same format as what you've been doing in the digital? They won't see any difference?
No, they're not going to see a difference.
That's fine. Yep.
4 pages, and you also will see live video in it now, which we never did before.
Right. That's the beauty of it. Like you say, do do your cooking sessions, and I'm almost out of time. If I bring you, I ought to be able to do 2 hours for you. I ought to do a nighttime special or something. We'll run it out for about 2 hours. Our guest has been Janine Pettit, the editor and the camper in chief at Girl Camper and Girl Camper magazine and the Camperee, and we'll put some overlays on these as we always do, Janine, and we'll
Yeah.
talk put them up for the events that you've been talking about. Great to catch up with you. Any last minute words for our fans?
No, just thank you for always supporting Girl Camper. And anyone who wants to learn more about us, you could go over to girlcamper.com. We've got articles there. We've got features there. We've got all of our events there. We've got great content there. And please visit our sponsors from that page. We've got our own podcast. And there is a Girl Camper podcast with all the details of the Girl Camper's Lend a Hand trip to North Carolina.
Oh, there is. All right. I'll make sure we mention that. Yeah.
Yeah. YouTube or wherever you get it. And then, of course, we got our Facebook group, and we've got all kinds of ways to get in touch with us. So we appreciate that.
And how many state chapters do you have now?
Well, funny you should ask. We changed over regions. So
okay.
We've got 7 regions in the country now, and
right.
We're going to be seeing those regions come out next month. So every single region has 3, 4, 5 or more guides. So that's going to be great. And now we're opening up. If you belong to a region and you're a member of Girl Camper, we're switching over to a membership kind of format. So now you're going to be able to become a member of Girl Camper, which lets you in any region. And once you're a member, you could be a Girl Camper hostess and host a trip.
Fantastic.
It's all coming out.
You've always got something working, Janine. I appreciate it. All right.
Well,
okay. Thank you very much, and we will catch up to you down the road. And don't forget, call Mark and Dawn.
I will. Mark and Dawn. Happy trails, my friend. You look wonderful.
Thank you. All right.